What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your boy Byron, aka the Mow-Town Hustler, aka the Grass Assassin, coming at you with another video. This particular video, I was listening to another video that mentioned that you could not get a one man operation, owner operator could not get rich doing lawn care by himself. And I I believe that to be partially true, but not completely true. And the reason that I say it's not completely true is because operating as a solo operator can generate you a pretty decent salary. And depending on what you do with the money that you get from your day to day operations as a lawn care provider, that can determine whether you become wealthy or not. Now, the other thing is there's another question that I want to pose to you guys and attempt to answer. Is can a one man crew be as efficient and as productive as a two and potentially three-man crew? Now, I know initially your answer is going to be no, and but there are a few caveats that can change that, in my opinion. Now, if you got if you get a good start each season on your customer's lawn as a solo guy, um, and you offering weed control and fertilization, when you start, like, I'm in Georgia, so when you start late January, early February, you get your pre-emergent out there in a timely manner, early enough for it to be effective. You treat the lawn, you treat the flower beds, and that's gonna give you a good start. And then on your first complete mowing service, once you finish edging, trimming, mowing, and blowing, if you hit the edges and the trim areas with the PGR, that's gonna almost eliminate your need to do the edging and the trimming in the next couple of weeks. And if you're on a weekly schedule, you probably have to touch up those areas once a month. Now, and if you treat it, you can treat the shrubs also with the PGR, which is gonna eliminate the shrub trimming to at least to a once a month or maybe once every other month type situation. And so when you compare that to a two-man crew where they might have a guy that comes out and does the mowing, and then the other guy is doing the trimming, the edging, and blowing off the hardscape areas and sidewalk and whatnot. Now, on the initial service, the two-man crew will outperform the one-man crew. But in the follow-up next 2 to 3 services, the one-man crew is going to outperform the two-man crew because of the PGR on the edging and the trimming, which pretty much eliminates what the second guy would be doing. So I would say on a weekly schedule, 3 services out of the month, the one man crew is winning, and then that one touch up week, then the 2 men might edge out the one man crew. So in that situation, I think the one man crew can be just as effective and productive as a 2 man crew. The addition of PGRs and pre-emergence and weed control that that makes a person more efficient. You know, when you go to certain yards and they've been treated, it just it's like clockwork getting through that yard. It's much easier than going to a yard that hasn't been treated and that looks a mess. It's treated yards are just easier to cut. They're easier to manage, and a strategic application of PGRs can really help boost your productivity. You can go from cutting an average of 10 to 12 yards, which is something that's manageable for a one-man crew, to up to 20 yards, and which is pretty standard for maybe a two-man crew. So, and depending on your pricing, you can you can go from earning 100,000 to 200,000 um, in a pretty reasonable manner, you know. And then if you're talking about just getting away from the mowing side completely and just going totally into weed control, then yeah, you definitely outperforming a 2 to 3 man crew, and from that standpoint, and on a path to being rich as a solo lawn care guy. So I wanted to say that to somewhat refute what was being said about one man operation um, becoming rich or wealthy. So tell me what you guys think about it. Hit the comment section, like, subscribe, holler back at your boy. I'm out.